Today I am making old-fashioned chicken salad. This is one of my family's favorites. You have this everywhere you go in the South, and I didn't know this, but I looked up when this is served mostly, and surprisingly, it was the 4th of July. I couldn't believe it because we do barbecue most of the time, but yes, this is one of those things. Maybe it's brought to a potluck. It's always brought to a potluck, so maybe at the lake it's just something people can make and take and put in their cooler. I don't know, but we are going to make it today, and it's old-fashioned. This is my grandmother's recipe, and it is spectacular. Okay, so a lot of people roast their chicken, but I like to simmer my chicken in spices, or in the aromatics rather. I have celery, a celery root, onion, I've got garlic cloves, 4 garlic cloves, a lemon halved and squeezed, and a bay leaf, some thyme, a bunch of parsley, salt and pepper. And so it's pretty much just what you would do when you are boiling chicken. So are making stock, and I'm going to keep this stock. Don't worry about that. I will be definitely keeping it. But the neat thing about this is you can just roughly chop everything, throw it in the pot, turn it on, bring it to a boil, and then turn it down to a simmer and let it go until everything's done. I cut my meat, which they're chicken breasts, and 6 chicken breasts, and I just cut it into strips, but you don't even have to do that. So I'm just getting my chicken and I'm putting it right into a bowl, and I am going to be making the simple, very, very simple mixture that the chicken is going to be mixed up in. And it's very, very simple. A lot of people, like in Rhode Island, or, you know, that was the first place anyway that people began to put grapes and pecans and different things into their chicken salad. And I have done that, and I do love that. But this is the old-fashioned kind that we all know and we all love. So I'm just going to break this up real quick, and then I'm going to tell you what all goes into the mixture. My grandmother always did this, and so I always do it. You can forego this part if you want to, but I don't really like any big, huge chunks in my chicken salad. And one lady I know actually does a food processor and gets hers like totally tiny. And I do like a little texture, but I like it hand done. So I break it up a little bit more to make sure it's all good and broken. And this is super moist because I simmered it. The flavor is in the chicken because we simmered it on such low heat. It is in the chicken. A lot of people will roast theirs. You get a lot of good flavor with roasting your chicken salad. To me, that particular chicken salad, I like to cut up into just smaller bites, but not shred. And you can shred it. It's nothing wrong with it, but I think it's really good in little bites like that. So I have this nice and shredded like I want to. It's gotten cooler, so it's not going to, make the mayonnaise super hot or anything when I put that into the mixture. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. All right, and now comes the fun part, the mixture. Okay, I've got celery here, and I'm just cutting it into long strips. Okay, and I'm gonna cut it into small little pieces in just a minute. I don't put onion in this because I simmered it in some of the onion. And I don't put, I don't need to put a whole lot in here at all because it's got so much flavor just on its own. So I will be putting the mayonnaise in, and that gives it loads of flavor. I have a homemade mayonnaise recipe that you could use, and that's the way that they used to do it back in the 1800s when this recipe came about. And you can always do that. It's not very hard to do. It's just olive oil, lemon juice. You could put garlic in it that kind of makes it into an aioli or whatever, but it's really pretty simple. So I'm just going to cut this up into small pieces, and it's just very finely diced. If you're going to do onion, I recommend to make sure that it's finely diced too, because you just don't want a lot of onion going into your mouth and just getting one big, huge bite of onion. Okay. All right, I've already added the salt and pepper to the simmer, so I'm not sure that it needs a whole lot. I'm going to taste the chicken. And this is another thing, you just really need to taste your food as you go. But I'm going to taste the chicken and see if I feel like the chicken itself has enough salt and pepper. Okay. It's probably going to be able to use a little bit more. I'm not going to put it in till the very end though. Okay. So now I've got about 5 stalks or so of celery, but it's about 1.5 cups. So it's 6 chicken breasts, 1.5 cups of celery, 2 cups of mayonnaise. Now, I like Duke's. They didn't have it at the store the other day, so I got Hellman's. I like Hellman's as well, but you need to use a really good mayonnaise or do it homemade. 3/4 cups of dill pickles. Okay? Dill is important. It's okay if a little juice is in there. It'll just give a little bit more flavor and moisture to the chicken salad. Okay? So I'm just going to mix this all together. I can already tell it needs a little pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and add my pepper. So this is about 1/2 teaspoon. Okay, I'm going to just mix this together and we're going to go from here. The very first cookbook that chicken salad is known to be in was the Carolina Housewife. And it was in the 1800s. And we're still writing recipes today for chicken salad. So I've got it in my 2000s cookbook. So we're talking a very, very long time. So here it is. This is it. Now I'm going to give a little taste to this and see if it needs any salt. I think it's really pretty perfect. I don't think it needs any salt at all. I'm going to put it on a little piece of toast right here and see how this stands up. And you know, the simmering is the most important part of this recipe. If you keep the heat really low and you simmer your chicken, it's going to be nice and it's going to soak up the flavor. It's going to be tender, easy to shred. It's going to be delicious and it's just going to make your chicken salad. All right, I'm going to give a big bite to this and see if this is good. I could feast on that and I may just have it this 4th of July. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this post. It really does a lot of help. Thanks.